Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Justin Dehm Show. This is Scott Kerker, along with Metamore head coach Justin Dehm. Coach, we're going to go back in the archives just a little bit, about a week and a half ago, and let's talk about all the games. First off, I don't think we just talked about it. We haven't done a show since before the season started because of games and everything else, holidays and everything. But if you go back to the beginning of the season, you started off with maybe one of the toughest teams you'll see all season in Pasadena, California. They came in with a 7-foot center who's going to Texas A&M. Tough way to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the most unique teams we'll see all year with a 7-foot guy, and their guard was really their best player, and he had an awesome game against us, had 30 points. I think he only missed 2 or 3 shots, like 12 for 15 maybe. He was really tough to stop. He had a good night. Big man's just, big enough, long enough to cause some problems for us at the rim and on the rebound on the glass. So I thought we battled against those guys, though. Got off to a slow start. You can't really throw a 7-foot guy out there in practice and
No.
get that adjustment. So you kind of got to adjust and adapt during the game, and I thought the guys did a really good job of that.
I think he ended up losing 65-59. He came back and played really well for the last 3 quarters of that game. Like you said, you got off to a little bit of a slow start. But I thought your kids adapted really well, and some of the young kids, the lights kind of dimmed a little bit for them. It wasn't too bright. It was at first, but they kind of got into the rhythm, and I thought they really played well.
Yeah, you kind of saw a little bit, especially in the third quarter, fourth quarter, that second half, how well we moved the ball. They went into a little bit of a zone, and we were just passing it, cutting, hitting open threes, hitting open guys. You could really see, some of the what we've talked about in the preseason show of how well these guys play together, how well they pass the ball and can shoot the ball, and they're capable of some really big, runs when they get hot.
And you took a little bit of a setback there, but that's okay. We even the year that we won state, we went 2-2 over there. We played some really good competition, and that's what you want. The second game, you played another really good team, I believe, from Georgia, Grace Prep Academy.
Grace Christian?
Christian.
From Knoxville,
Tennessee.
We didn't get to play the Georgia team in the weather.
But I thought they were a very good team, and your kids, I thought the second half of that game, your kids played outstanding basketball. Ended up getting, I believe, a 4-point win, and that was a big win against a really quality opponent.
Yeah, definitely. And a team that kind of played really well against us. They shot it better. We looked back at the stats. We're kind of big at analytics here at our program, and we try to shoot as few mid-range shots off the dribble as we can. Those are the lowest percentage shots in basketball, the fewest points per shot, if you will. And that team had one of the best mid-range shooting games we've ever seen. I think they went 6 for 8 on mid-range jumpers, which nobody does. 50% is really good from the mid-range, and they're only worth 2 points. You can go 35% on threes and get just as many points.
Right. So, you played against them. Like I said, the second half, though, was just outstanding.
Yeah.
Moved the ball, got some, kids with open shots, made those shots, and that's big. So that you came out of the TOC 1-1. Your final game that Saturday kind of got snowed out. But 1-1, had to be happy with that. Went over to Washington, first regular season game of the year, first conference game. Played great for, I would say, 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, probably 28 minutes maybe.
28 minutes. The only lead Washington had was at the end.
Yeah, 4 or 5 seconds at the very end. They took the lead. We had the lead for 30 minutes. They tied it up with about 2 to go. I think it was maybe under 2 minutes to go. They hit the 3 to tie it, and then it was tied, and then they hit the 1 to win it. And it was kind of one of those weird games. Sometimes that happens. You feel like you're in control the whole time, and then at the end we had some bad plays, had some turnovers, lost our mind one time, got a technical, cost us 5-point possession. Went from up 7 to up 2 at the 2.5 or 3 minute mark of that game, and that was a big swing.
We had another technical later in the game, too.
That was when I meant.
Oh,
the other one was first half. Yeah.
First half, yes.
Yeah, and they made 1 free throw out of that. So it cost us at least 3 points, but then allowed them to get the ball back. The second time, they hit a 3. So really, talking about 6 points we just gave them there.
Right. And that's and we'll talk about how some of the losses you've had are because of, you're young and you're not sure how to put teams away. But I thought the way you came back and rebounded, a couple nights later against IVC was outstanding. And then the next day against East Moline are just a tremendous weekend. You went from probably not feeling real good about yourselves to feeling really good about yourself.
Yeah.
Now IVC is a little bit down. They're a small school. They're actually a pretty decent team for their class.
Good size.
But then you went over and you played an East Moline team that I thought was pretty solid.
Yep.
And you kind of took it to them a little bit, and you kind of got to see, how good your team can be defensively.
Yeah.
The help side defense was outstanding. The way you guys, dribble, kicked it out to the open guy for open shots, and then they made them. You've got a really good shooting team. They shoot the ball really, really well, and your team is very unselfish.
Yep. Yeah, super unselfish. And at times a little too unselfish, maybe. A couple guys right now I'm trying to get to shoot the ball more, be a little bit more aggressive. We're passing up shots, and I think teams are kind of catching on to, this he's looking for the perfect shot, so our shot fake is not really getting them to bite, and now we're not getting those drives. So it's got to be like, you got to be a shooter first. The more aggressive you are and the more that they think you're shooting it every time you catch it, the harder they're going to have to try to stop you. Then it opens it up a little bit more.
Right.
So definitely it's a good problem to have. You always want to, you just like you'd rather have a guy be too aggressive that you can kind of try to, bring him back in a little bit. It's really hard to get guys to get their motor up. It's easier to, Zach Bourne, hey, we can slow down a little bit, but you'd much rather have Zach Bourne than somebody out there you're begging to play hard, right?
Right. And you don't have to worry about that with Zach Bourne.
No, never.
Never.
It's like there's two guys on the court. Two Zachs out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Zach shot it, and then he got the rebound, and then he missed, and then he stole it again, and he just makes play after play.
Yes, his motor is 100%. Yeah, it's crazy. And then that was on Saturday. You didn't play again until Friday?
I think we played Tuesday.
Against?
Home game against Champaign.
Champaign, that's right. Another really good game you played.
Yeah.
Against a very good Champaign Central team.
Yeah.
And you kind of took it to them too.
Came out guns blazing in the first quarter. I think we hit 5 threes in that first quarter. The IVC game, Gavin hit 3 threes in the first quarter. We might have had 4 as a team. So we've been getting off to some pretty good starts here. The guys have done a great job. 1 with the scouting report of the other team to start the game, and 2 with just trying to play fast, play aggressive, get good looks early.
Right, and that's kind of set the tone, and then your kids were able to keep that momentum going throughout the 4 quarters, and that was key. And then you went over and you went into the Lions' Den kind of. You went over and played Morton at the Powder Box, and it'll always be the Powder Box until they put a dome on the roof.
They're talking about raising the roof about 10 feet, 20 feet, and putting in an upper deck up there. I'll believe it when I see it.
Believe it when you see it, and then if they put a dome on it, then it can be the Powder.
Finally call it the dome. Yeah.
Finally, but that is over the years. That has always been one of the toughest places to play because it's so tight, and they always play so well at home.
It's so loud.
And you took the crowd out early. You
6 threes in the first quarter.
Briggs Busey hit a 3 right off the bat, then got another one right off the bat. And I believe the score was 21-14 at the end of the first quarter. And, man, your kids played, it was a dogfight.
Yep.
And there was a lot of growing. Now, when there's growth, sometimes the next game is tough to replicate that.
Yeah, for sure.
And we should have played on Saturday, but we'll stay with Morton here a little bit. There were times in the regulation time you could have put it away, but again, youth missing free throws, and you said
a lot of free throws.
You said it best in the post game interview. It's hard to replicate the atmosphere, how loud it is, everything that kind of worked against us in that last quarter. You can't replicate.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And these kids have never been through that because of their youth, because they're, what'd you say, 8 kids don't even have their driver's license yet?
Oh, they do now, but most of them have been getting it. They've been picking it up throughout the fall.
Okay.
A lot of them have birthday in September, birthday in October, birthday in November or whatever, but I think Sam is the one varsity guy still that doesn't have his driver's license.
Wow.
He won't be 16 until a couple more months.
So that is really, they don't have that sense of urgency, and they don't have that killer instinct yet. They'll get it because they've had success. All those kids have had success at the junior high level, the freshman level. And Brady Jones is a seasoned veteran. He's only a sophomore, and Gavin Geyer, one of the few juniors, he was out
Didn't
all
even play last year. Yeah.
So he was out. And so a lot of these guys are playing new roles, and they're kind of learning. So there's going to be some ups and downs.
Some growing pains along the way. The Washington game was a good example of one. Sometimes we've been trying to talk a lot lately at practice about, just beat them on the scoreboard. We don't have to show them up. We don't have to block a shot. We don't have to say anything to them. We don't have to gesture to the crowd or whatever that stuff is. But that's something that kids, unfortunately, that's what you see in the NBA, and they get away with that in college, and it's on social media. So, you do the gun thing when you make a shot. Well, that's a technical in high school, right?
Yeah.
And in high school, you want the kids to have some emotion. You want them to have some passion, right? And just gotta bottle it up and use it the right way, right? And
right.
When you're in high school, when you're a teenager, you're trying to make a name for yourself in the world, right? You're trying to get out of mom and dad's house, and you're in a different mindset than you are as a middle school kid, and different mindset as you will be when you get out of high school. You're trying to find your way in the world, and these guys are trying to show that they can play, and we just got to learn, the worst feeling in the world is the loss, not, oh, he scored on me, oh, he blocked my shot.
Right.
It feels way worse that night when you lose a big game, and the next day, as we've learned and as we've shown other teams now.
Sure.
I guarantee Morton felt way worse after losing that game to us than any block shot that could have happened in one game.
For sure. But you come away with a 3 overtime win. I think that has to be the most overtimes we've played. I mean, I know that we've
had some crazy games at Morton over the years. There's definitely been some overtime ones, but not triple overtime.
Not triple overtime. I can only remember one game that went double overtime, and we won't talk about that one. But
triple overtime regional championship at Washington 2018.
Yes,
that was a good one.
That was okay.
It was like 45-41 though.
Yes.
This game was 86-82.
Yeah.
We set the school record for threes in a game. We hit 16 threes. It was one more than the 23-24 team with Cooper and Matthew and Tyler.
Yep.
Had one big night at the Round Ball Classic against Downers Grove South. I think they were 15 for 19 or something insane that night. But we went 16 of 32 or 33 against Morton. Just an unbelievable shooting night from the guys. They did what they do in practice. They came out and they had no fear. They went out and they were the hunters that night.
For sure. And it showed a lot of growth, to come back, or they really didn't have to come back.
Right.
But there was a lot of times in that game where they could have folded, but they didn't.
Oh yeah, it kind of was like the Washington game a little bit, where it was like, hey, we're going to win this game if we just make free throws, and then we didn't, and then we could have hung our heads. We could have been like Washington and kind of pouted a little bit, and it's like, oh man, we blew the game, but we didn't. We got tough, and we found a way.
Right.
Made enough free throws in the last overtime. I think Sam was like 6 for 6 in the last overtime, and brought us to the win. Got us
a big win. You had 2 guys with more than 20. I think Briggs Busey had 21, and Sam Koch had 22, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
So you've had that was some really nice scoring. You had, every kid that played, you could say, had
everybody
something.
Had great contributions.
Yes, they were.
Colin, I think, had his best game of the season. Colin Morrison was really good that night. Brady had some great finishes around the basket, needed every bucket that he had. I think Brady had 9 rebounds, 7 points, 9 rebounds. Sam had a double-double. Sam had 10 rebounds that game. So the guys were all over the glass against a big, strong, physical Morton team.
Yeah, and Logan Vasquez had a nice game.
Logan had double figures. Yeah, 5 guys in double figures. It's a great balance.
Yes, that was a fantastic effort there. You had your game Saturday, snowed out against Dehm High.
Again.
A home game.
Another Saturday. Can we get a snow day on the week? Man, come on.
I know, and hopefully at some point you might be able to get that game rescheduled.
Probably not with U High. Every week that we don't have a Tuesday game, they have a Tuesday game.
Yeah.
And we have every week that we don't have a Saturday game, they have a Saturday game, or vice versa. So we're probably not going to be able to make that one up, unfortunately, but we'll play them next year.
And then you went to Canton. Another tough place to play, great gym, but tough place to play. And there, again, another senior-laden team. And you said before the season started, possibly the best guard tandem in the conference.
Yeah.
and they were.
That was the best guard tandem we've seen so far in the conference. It's only been 3 games, but Morton's a little different. They got a couple guys that can really shoot it, but I think they're not nearly as big, not as overall as dangerous maybe as the Canton kids. The lefty Lakin Otto was an all-conference player last year. Is coming back. I remember him scoring 30 at East Peoria, almost single-handedly winning the game against East Peoria last year. It was a big upset, and kind of did the same thing to us this year. We saw him play 3 times. He had 28 points in those 3 games combined.
Right.
And he had 27 on us. He just got really hot, and you got to give him credit. He had a really good night. We know he's a good player. The one kid went off in the second half when we switched and tried to put Logan on Otto in the second half. He kind of contained him a little bit, but the other kid got loose. And
22.
Stokes, number 0. Yeah, 2 guys with 20 points.
Yeah, and there was one time where he drove to the lane, kind of got spun around, got fouled, and just threw the ball up behind him, and it went in. And you're thinking,
There were some weird plays in that. It was kind of an awkward game, right? It was a long drive during the week. It wasn't a real a good environment. It was kind of empty in there. I don't think the kids, like people say, a trap game, right? So we weren't up for that game like we were from Morton, and that's what happens to a young team sometimes. We got to learn to just, no matter who it is, we're not playing against the opponent. We're playing against ourselves. We're playing against the game. Let's try to play as well as we can every time out. We actually set a record in that game for fewest offensive rebounds allowed. They didn't get 1 offensive rebound the whole game. So I can't think of any other game I've ever seen in my life where you don't give up an offensive rebound and you lose the game. It seems impossible to do, right? But that's how many shots they made. They just were making everything. There weren't very many rebounds to go around.
Yeah, for sure. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a time out? When we come back, we'll talk about your upcoming schedule. It's going to be a little tough here before Christmas.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome back to the Justin Dehm Show. Coach, you come off the loss on Tuesday, but the nice thing is you get to play again. You don't have to wait a week.
Yeah.
You play Pekin at home Friday night. Pekin's a decent team. You're going to have to come out and play well. Then you also play Peoria Central on Saturday night. But we'll start with Pekin first. Conference game at home.
Yep. The Pekin's always a dangerous team. They got some guys that can shoot the ball every year. They got some guys that can guard you. 1,600 kids in their school. They're going to have some athletes. They're a little bit smaller this year, a little bit younger this year. They start a couple sophomores and juniors, but they've been playing together their whole lives, and it's a new challenge for us. We're a young team too, and it's like we found out against Canton. If we don't bring our A game, anybody can beat us.
Right. But you've had some success against Pekin. I remember going over there. Oh man, I think maybe Nate Cannell might have been a junior, and right before Christmas, and they were not a great team. We were pretty decent, and they kind of took it to us.
I remember that one. Yep.
It was about a 15-point loss.
I think it might have been even worse than that.
Yeah.
I can remember Coach Greaves just sitting everybody, all the starters, basically pulling them out, maybe the third quarter,
Yeah.
even, and just saying, you know what, we don't have it tonight. We're just going to take this one.
Yeah. That was a crazy, crazy night.
He was not happy.
No. I imagine not. But then you turn around on Saturday night in a very interesting game. You play a Peoria Central team that's pretty young too. They have one senior, I believe.
Bunch of sophomores. Yep.
Is it
Foy? Third year varsity starter. So good experienced kid. Really, really aggressive. Really good motor. He's kind of an undersized guy, but plays really hard. Very good athlete.
Yeah. And then they've got a couple of guards that kind of hurt us last year as freshmen that could shoot. A left-hander, I believe.
Yep, 2 little lefties. 2 5'10" lefty guards that can handle it a little bit, gets a basket, can shoot a little bit. You got to guard them. You can't leave them open. So they can definitely do some things. It'd be nice to have 2 back-to-back home games. Our next home win, if we should get one, would be tying us for 6th most consecutive home wins all time. So we're sitting at 47. There's 2 teams tied with 48. So this is a big weekend for us.
It is. It'd be a big weekend for you guys. Do you think that the fact that you're playing Canton a home game, and then you're playing a team that I'm sure those kids kind of circled on the calendar or on the schedule because they knocked us out.
And not only that, our JV team's only losses last year were to them and one Morton game, but we're to those guys twice. Once at the beginning of the season, once at Peoria High, and the freshman team last year. Their only 2 losses were Peoria High twice. So Peoria High was 5-0 against us last year. So obviously that's important for us. But we know we got to focus on Pekin first. The conference game matters. The home win streak matters. We got to get this game on Friday, and then we'll turn our focus to Saturday.
Do you think that it'll be a lot easier to get the kids to focus, knowing that these are what's at stake with the conference, with the home winning streak, and then pride and getting them to win on Saturday night?
I think definitely you can see it in practice the last 2 days, and coming off a loss, definitely have their attention a little bit more. They're pretty focused right now. Had 2 pretty good practices.
Coach, we'll let you get going here. Thank you so much. Bring home a couple W's this
Thanks
weekend.
so much.
That'll do it for the Justin Dehm Show. See you Friday night in Metamora.